Good day to everyone. I'm Mad, Wanta Mad, and welcome to another video here at Maid Farms. We are here at our maid workshop for us to show you how we hatch chicks using our DIY incubator.
Let us start by setting our thermostat to the desired temperature. We will run our incubator for 24 hours to stabilize the temperature inside. This will ensure a stable environment and temperature for the eggs. Now we will add water in our food containers to serve as thermal mass to absorb the heat of the light bulb. The lid is placed as not to affect the humidity inside our incubator. We have a small hole in the lid to relieve the pressure inside our thermal mass or water container. Now we can place our portable charcoal grill on top of our food container. The base of our portable charcoal grill will serve as a heat sink to spread the light bulb's heat evenly under the eggs. It can also serve as a water container to control the humidity inside our incubator. The mesh of the grill will serve as an elevated base, so there will be an airspace underneath the eggs. We'll also place a placemat on top of our mesh to provide traction for the eggs. Next will be our semi-automatic egg turner to turn our eggs 3 to 5 times a day. Using a small screw, we can now attach our rod to our semi-automatic egg turner so we can push and pull on our egg turner from the outside. We don't need to open our incubators when turning our eggs. This prevents heat loss in our incubator and making our process more efficient. Next, we add our two thermometers to monitor the temperature inside our incubator. One thermometer will be our wet bulb thermometer, and one thermometer will be our dry bulb thermometer. Using a wet piece of paper towel, we can measure the wet bulb temperature inside our incubator. Now we can start marking our eggs and prepare them for incubation. Using a soft lead pencil, we will mark the date of our egg on one side and an X on the other side. The labels will help us determine our candling and hatching date and the position of the eggs during turning. When choosing eggs for hatching, make sure your eggs are of the average size and there are no cracks or deformities found in the egg. Before hatching, store your eggs in a cool and dry place and prevent them from getting wet. Now we are ready to place our eggs inside our incubator. Make sure your incubator has been running for 24 hours to prevent any fluctuations in temperature. Now, carefully place your eggs date side up on your semi-automatic egg turner to start incubation. Now, mark the date of the start of the incubation. Now here we have our dry bulb and wet bulb thermometer. We are looking at a temperature difference of 7 degrees Celsius to get a relative humidity of 60% during incubation. Now during the last few days of hatching, we are looking at an increased relative humidity of 80%. This is equivalent to a 2 to 3 degrees Celsius difference in the wet bulb and dry bulb temperature. You can also find relative humidity calculators online. Now, don't forget to turn your eggs 3 to 5 times a day. During the 7th day of incubation, we can now candle our eggs to determine if our eggs are fertilized. Using an LED flashlight, we can tape a piece of plastic or cardboard around the flashlight. LEDs emit very low heat so they do not affect our eggs. Now we place an egg on top of our flashlight. Here's an example of a fertilized egg. What we are looking for are the veins around the black spot or the embryo. Here we have an example of a bad egg or an unfertilized egg. You can see that light doesn't pass through our egg. We can also use our incubator to hatch different types of eggs. Here is an example of a pigeon egg we are trying to hatch. We will continue to candle the other eggs and discard the unfertilized or bad eggs. You can see the embryos moving in some of the eggs. Here's an example of an embryo at day 10. We maintain a temperature of 37.5 degrees Celsius or 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit and a relative humidity of 60%. And during hatching, we increase our relative humidity to 70 to 80%. We've added a digital hygrometer to verify the readings of our analog thermometers. Using a funnel and a clear hose, we can add water to control the humidity inside the incubator without opening the lid. By adding water, we can control the humidity inside our incubator. The water flows from the funnel to the hose to our tray at the bottom. We can stop turning the eggs 3 days before hatching. Now we candle them again just before hatching to verify the airspace in the egg. At day 19, we can now transfer the eggs to their hatching cages. Here we use plastic trays lined with newspaper for ease in cleaning during hatching. The chicks will make a mess during hatching, so by lining your plastic tray with newspaper, it's easier to clean and sanitize your incubator. Now we place a wire mesh on top of our hatching trays to prevent the chicks from climbing out. We also have a second digital hygrometer and thermometer to verify the readings in our incubator. We also use different size hatching trays to accommodate different numbers of chicks hatching. This incubator can be a hatcher and a setter at the same time. At day 20, you will see some of the eggs peep, or the chicks, pecking a small hole on the eggshell. And at day 21, the holes begin to enlarge. We have placed a newspaper under the eggs so you can read the news while waiting for the chicks to hatch. We wait for the chicks to dry up before transferring them to a brooder. Happy Easter from us at Maid Farms.
So there you have it, hatching chicks using our DIY incubator. Again, thank you for watching our videos. To learn more about how we make farming easy here at Maid Farms, subscribe to my YouTube channel Manoda or add us on Facebook, Modular Aquaponics. See you in the next videos. I'm trying to farm here.